What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love During Lockup, Season 4, Episode 30, Love Obsessed. So let's get into Justine and Michael. So we are exactly 24 hours away from Michael's release from prison. And so they're talking on the phone. Before I get there, though, let me just talk about how jittery and nervous Justine was while she was waiting for this call. Because they had that argument in their previous conversation, she was worried about him not calling her. So she was very nervous. And then when her phone finally rang, the way she just like leaped onto her bed to grab that phone. And I mean, it was so fast that we got a glimpse of the camera crew because the camera couldn't keep up with her because she was running so fast towards her phone. So anyways, to get on the phone, they apologize to one another. Justine tells us that she wishes that she had never taken the car to get checked because it showed that, she didn't trust her man and she should have just gone with her gut instinct and trusted Michael instead of listening to the naysayers about the car possibly being stolen. He apologizes to her for how he talked to her in their last conversation, so everything is fine now. Then they start talking about Michael's children. I think Michael is talking about trying to possibly get custody of his children, have his children come live with him. And I guess he anticipates this is going to be a battle with the children's mothers. Yeah, I would think so because you've been gone for 6 years. You couldn't keep yourself out of prison and now you want to take these kids away from their mother and you have barely gotten your life back together yet. Like, what are you talking about, Michael? I hope I misheard and he was actually talking about visitation, but I think he was talking about getting custody of his kids. Then during that conversation about the children, he says to Justine that now, because I think he's anticipating some type of negativity coming from the mothers of his children. So he tells her, he tries to reassure her that, you are now, at the very top of the totem pole because now you're my wife. Why does there have to be a totem pole? Why do we have to arrange women in order of priority? These women are in completely different categories. Justine is your wife, true enough. So let that be that. She's in her own lane as your wife. The mothers of your children, they are the mothers of your children. You're going to be dealing with them a whole lot differently than the way you deal with Justine. So, let that be that. There's no comparing Justine to the mothers of your children. There's just no comparing. So let's stop with prioritizing women, putting them in categories of one above the other, which one's more important, which one's going to have more control. Let's just stop all of that. Unless, Michael, you plan on being with all of these women in a romantic fashion, then I can understand why you have to put them in some type of order of priority. Moving on from there, then we see Justine talking to her own children. She has 3 children of her own, a teenage daughter and 2 younger sons, and she's trying to, I guess, get them prepared for the arrival of Michael, asking them if they had any last minute questions about Michael, entering their lives. And the kids are just like, yeah, whatever. So then she tells her children that she's thinking about having another child, with Michael. And I'm like, what? Justine, you have 3 children. Michael has anywhere between 4 and 6 children. Why do we need to add another in the mix? Like, why are you even thinking about that? Instead of just thinking about how these 2 families are going to blend, how your children are going to become, if worrying about whether or not your children will ever be accustomed to Michael and making sure that your kids are good with having this new person in their life, you're talking about having another child. It's like you're bypassing the here and now and the current situation with your children and how they're going to be dealing with a new man in your life. But whatever. I think with Justine, she's one of those women that feels like you're not important enough to a man unless you've had his child. And so I think she just wants to solidify their connection by having a baby with him, which to me is kind of like very, very immature and very backwards thinking. If a relationship is going to be strong, it's going to be strong. You don't need a baby to strengthen anything. But those are just my assumptions, and I could be wrong. So now it is the day of Michael's release. She shows up at the prison. She drives to the prison in one of Michael's cars. She didn't drive her own Mercedes that he bought her, but it was one of his exotic, souped up 6-figure sports car, all black, with the, I think they call them butterfly doors, the doors that actually go up instead of out. And so she gets out of this black sports car, and she has on a black cat suit, a black one piece leotard looking cat suit, full with gloves and everything, looking like Catwoman in here. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, Justine, I mean, all you're missing is a little black cat mask and some ears, and that outfit would have been complete. I mean, she looked cute, for a Catwoman. She looked really, really cute. But okay, we'll go with that. So that's where that ends right there, because their story is going to continue in Love After Lockup. So we didn't see Michael come out. We didn't see the obligatory, Love After Lockup reunion. All of that will happen, I guess, in the new season of Love After Lockup. So good luck to all of that. Let's move on to Chelsea and Mikey. So Chelsea, she is the one that is hearing impaired, and she is on her way to the prison to go see Mikey. This will be the very first time that they meet in person, and she's taking her son with him because she wants her son and Mikey to get to know each other, to meet, etc. When they get to the prison, though, at the gate, the prison guard tells them that her son cannot come. Her son is he looks like to be about maybe 11, 12 years old. So the prison guard says that the son cannot come with her inside prison grounds because he was not on the list. The only people that can come in are the people that are on the list. So she leaves her son with her friend. She goes in to see Mikey, and obviously they couldn't take the cameras there. They couldn't take the cameras inside. She comes back out after their meeting, and she was so happy, so excited. She was so giddy. The meeting went extremely well. She loved him even better in person. She talked about his dimples and how good looking he was. And he also, because he was, we heard him talking, I guess they interviewed him by phone. He talked about how, he was pleased with Chelsea. He found her very attractive. He found her personality, everything about her he really, really liked. To him, Chelsea was like the total package. And we also find out that Mikey is also hearing impaired. We had no idea. So when she met him, he told her that he was hearing impaired as well, but he wears a hearing aid. So he's able to hear through his hearing aid. And so she was excited about that because, that's a major, major thing to have in common. So the meeting went extremely well, and he's supposed to be coming out around December or January. And after she comes out from her meeting, she's back with her son, and she tells her son how well their meeting went. And then the son asked if Michael will be his new dad now. And it breaks my heart when children say things like that, because it makes it seem like the child is so desperate to have another parent. There's that longing in him, that need in him to have that father figure. And it just makes me sad when he said that. And so she says that her son has never had a father figure. And I thought to myself, oh, okay, because I thought Chelsea's dad was pretty close to Chelsea. I don't know. But she said that her son never really had a father figure. I guess she means like father figure in the literal form, not just some type of a male, but like an actual father type figure, like a stepfather or something. So hopefully, now this is where I kind of start getting upset about these Love After Lockup people, because you have a child. Okay, that does not need to be pulled into unnecessary drama. Chelsea was so quick and in a hurry to have her son meet Mikey before she even really got to know what kind of a person Mikey is outside of prison. That kind of bothers me, that she was so quick to try to throw these two people together. She needs to kind of check out Mikey first, see how that relationship goes, deal with Mikey away and apart from your son. And then if it seems like you have a solid relationship and a solid future with this man, after y'all have been getting to know each other for a very long time, then you can slowly begin to introduce the son and your boyfriend, to one another slowly. Not just he's moving in, he's your new daddy, you're going to listen to him now, and he's got the right to discipline you. That's too much. Please, Chelsea, for the love of God, I pray that you're going to move super, super, super slow. Do not move this man into your house. Do not force your son to have a relationship with this man. Deal with this man one-on-one, away from your son, to figure out and to verify that he's good enough to be around your kid, because I cannot stand it when these people on these reality TV shows get their children involved in their shenanigans, and the only people that end up losing at the end are the kids. So because this is the season finale, they tell us, exactly what happened after they were done recording. So with Chelsea and Mikey, Mikey still plans on suing the prison because, he had the 2 strokes. Chelsea believes wholeheartedly that he did have these 2 strokes. And so he still plans on suing the prison. He is dealing with a pro bono lawyer because nobody has any money. His mother doesn't have any money. Chelsea has no money. So he has to go with a pro bono lawyer. And Mikey is expected to be released in January. Now, we didn't get to see Emily and Dowry in this episode, but the little end notes, or the little conclusion for them, was that they are still together, and Emily still has not gone to the prison to see Dowry. I don't even think they video chatted. Because we all know what's going on there. She's catfishing him with old pictures of herself when she was a little bit slimmer. That's what's going on there. So he still hasn't seen the current Emily, the now Emily. He still thinks that he's dealing with, Emily from 5 years ago. Moving on from that, let's get into Louie and Melissa. Okay, so Louie and Melissa, she's with her father. She's telling her father about her relationship with Louie, and she tells her dad that, I really need your support in this. I want you to stand by my side while I'm dealing with this. And the dad is like, you're my daughter. I love you. I'll be here to support you. So then she calls Louie's mother, Donna, and she says to Donna, I just want to confirm with you that we're going to be meeting up to go and see Louie when he's released. And the mother goes, you know what, I thought about it. I've taken care of this kid for the past 10 years that he's been in prison. I've been there. I was the only one that was there for him. And I did this all by myself. And so I don't need anybody there when he gets released from prison. I'm going to be going there by myself. And so Melissa's like, well, okay, girl, whatever. I will be there as well. Whether you like it or not, I will also be there on the day of his release. So now it's going to be the battle of the mother and the girlfriend. Who is he going to run to next? Who is he going to hug first? Who is he going to run to first? Who is he going to hug first? Who's more important to all that mess and all that nonsense? If I was her, I would have been just like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I would have waited and seen if this man's ever going to reach out to me. That's what I would have done. If his mother says she wants to be there alone to meet her son, okay, fine, have at it. And then I'll just wait and see if he's ever going to reach out to me, instead of, running around chasing this man. Anyways, Melissa is so extremely immature. So extremely immature. So, moving on from there, their conclusion after they were done recording, after the show ended, Melissa still plans on attending Louie's release, regardless of what the mother wants. And they're going to make their debut as a couple at their high school reunion. Of course they are, because Melissa is still living in the past. She still thinks it's 1990 whatever, whenever, or 2000 whatever, when she was still in high school. So of course they would make their debut at their high school reunion, because her whole life centers around her high school years. Moving on from there, let's talk about Ty. So Ty is at the cemetery with one of her friends. I have no idea what the hell she's doing at the cemetery. I know that she's a mortician, or she works in she's a funeral director or whatever, works in a funeral parlor. I get all of that. So does that mean that all of her business is conducted at the graveyard? Like, I don't understand why we keep seeing Ty at the cemetery. So she's at the cemetery once again with her friend, and she's brought candles. She's brought pictures of all the guys that she's talking to in prison. She's even brought a little onesie, because she's going to be, I don't know, performing a ritual or something in the rain, because it was pouring down cats and dogs. I don't know if she's performing a ritual. I don't know, because they were on a grave in front of a cross. I'm thinking that was a grave that they were sitting on, somebody's gravesite. I have no idea what the hell's going on. But anyways, so she does some, I don't know what was going on with the candles and all of that. I have no idea. But then she gets a call from Marquise. And when she gets the call from Marquise, the rain stops, the rainbow comes out. And so she takes it as a sign that this is the one that she should be making her priority right now. Not her one and only, but just her priority above the other plethora of inmates that she's talking to. So that's where that ends, her being on the phone with Marquise. Now, the conclusion to her story is that she is still ignoring Hottie's calls. Hottie is still trying to get in touch with her, even though he's engaged to Boston. And she's still dating multiple prisoners, but this time she has added a man who is not incarcerated. Hallelujah and praise the Lord. Moving on to Jessica and Dustin. Now, Jessica is the one that gave up her nursing career in the Department of Corrections because she started a relationship with an inmate. And I keep forgetting that Jessica and Dustin have only been dating for 5 months, because as much emotion that she has invested into this relationship and how she gets so emotional and so dramatic about Dustin, you would have thought they've been dating for 10 years, but it's only been 5 months and she's like this invested in this guy. So she's packing up her stuff and getting ready for her move to Tennessee from Florida. She gets a call from Dustin's sister. The sister says, I've got some really bad news for you. Dustin is possibly facing more time, more charges, and he may be in the hole a little bit longer. So she completely breaks down. Now, when they showed us the clips or the preview of her breaking down over the phone, you would have thought she got news that he was like, they added 20 years to his sentence, the way that she completely broke down. And she's doing this in front of her kid. Her daughter was sitting right next to her when she got the call. And I'm like, girl, you've only been dating this guy for 5 months. This is not a real relationship. He's been in the hole the majority of the time that y'all have been together. He is fighting an addiction, so he is in no state of mind to be starting a relationship from prison when he's fighting an addiction. He's fighting the hole. He has a lot going on, and then he's still supposed to maintain a somewhat healthy relationship with you. Girl, come on. So the daughter tells her, after she tells her daughter, oh my God, he's facing more time. The daughter says, okay, then that's a sign, Mom. That's a sign to not move to Tennessee, to stay right here in Florida with me, with the rest of your family and friends. It is a sign to give this up. But she's like, well, I'm gonna end up losing the house if I don't move. Who the hell cares? Who cares? Who cares? But anyways, she's going to be leaving anyway. She don't give a damn about staying in Florida with her daughter. She's not observing the red flags that are popping up daily in her dealings with this guy. She's just going to continue to go on to Tennessee and wait for this guy to be released. So her story concluded with, we see that she had gotten 2 additional tattoos to prove her love to Dustin. She had one tattoo. The other was just a quote from somewhere, and it was on her side. She did get a tattoo of his first name, and it was right here on her wrist. It says Dustin in big old letters. And I'm looking at that, and I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why? But it's her life. It is her skin. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be feeling the pain when she gets these tattoos lasered off and her skin starts sizzling like bacon because this man has left her for his one true love, which is meth. And as far as Dustin's conclusion, he is still, as far as we know, he is still in the damn box. Moving on from there, let's get to boring Mark. It is Mark's 30th birthday. There's a birthday party for him. Somebody threw a 30th birthday party for him. His mom is there. His friends are there. And he is on the phone with Alexis. Was he on the phone with Alexis? I think he was on the phone with Alexis at his own party. And Alexis is his newest inmate girlfriend. And it's official now between the two of them because he asked her, will you be my girlfriend? And she said, yes, I'll be your girlfriend. And so they're together now. They're official. They're going steady. And the mom is like, what the hell are you doing, son? I mean, can you look around? And she points out this very attractive young lady that was at the party. And the mom is like, why don't you go talk to her? I mean, she's a very pleasant girl. I've spoken to her. She's very attractive. why don't you try something like that that's free, that's out and about in the free world? But he ain't trying to hear none of that. He wants himself an inmate. Now, what I wonder is, does he like try to hook the women while they're still in prison so that when they are released, he can still have a relationship with them? Like, the only way for him to have a woman in his life, to keep a woman in his life, he has to get them hooked while they're behind bars, because eventually they're going to be released. So does he either lose interest in them once they're released because he's got this fetish for inmates, or is this his way of getting a girlfriend? Is, you lock them down, no pun intended, you lock them down while they're behind bars so that when they're released, you have, y'all are together. That's how he's able to have a girlfriend and keep a relationship going, is if he tries to trap them while they're behind bars. Y'all know what I'm saying. So his story concluded. He is traveling the world and he is still waiting for Alexis to be released, and her release date is anticipated to be 2023. And that is the end of this recap. We have covered all of these people. It was a cute little season. A couple of people I could have done without. I really could have done without Ty. It was just a whole bunch of nothing. And Mark, same thing. I could have done without Mark. Everybody else was pretty interesting. I can't wait to see the continuation of Justine and Michael. I am really looking forward to that. I'm very much invested in that relationship. And I want Chelsea and Mikey to come back. Mikey is supposed to be released in January, hopefully. So I'm hoping to see Chelsea and Mikey as well on Love After Lockup. Like I said, I don't care about I don't care about Mark. Louie and Melissa, not interested. They can, recreate their high school days far and away from me. And I'm interested in Jessica and Dustin, but Dustin's probably going to be doing so much time. We have to wait for the next season of Love During Lockup, I guess, to see them again, if ever. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please do not forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.